tutorial on chainsaw blade install. Some of you have been asking about it, and I've been meaning to get to it. But anyhow, here we go. All right, we got a Husqvarna 455 Rancher. Chain's clearly off because the other one laid out. Okay, so anyhow, first thing you do is you take these two nuts off here. That's where the cover's at. Your chain breaks behind there too. So be careful when if you've already been running your saw because those nuts are going to be hot. So there's the cover. There's the chain brake. And those are what went through the cover. This right here just fits on there, just lines up those. Anyhow, right here is actually your adjustment on the inside. On the outside, there's going to be a screw right there. It's just got a slot. So when installing your chain, let's see if we can get a good shot at it. Oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to get out of the shadow. So anyhow, let me get this chain laid out. You can see it better. Okay, so everything keeps going down with gravity. Gotta love it. Gravity is not my best friend sometimes. Okay, that's better. That keeps it from falling back down. So, this is the inside of your blade. This rides inside your bar. So when you install your chain, which can be confusing if you've never done it before, all of these pieces right here, lay it back out, it's falling down. Okay, each one of these links has the actual cutting edge, and there's a curve right here in front of the cutting edge. Always make sure when you put that back on your chainsaw, those are all facing away from your chainsaw. Otherwise, you're not going to cut anything. And you're going to have to take it back apart. You're going to be all pissed off. I've done it before. But anyhow, let's see what we can do about putting it back on. You're not going to be able to see very well. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to put this chain behind there. It's going to go back on the sprocket. And then when you put it on the sprocket, you got to have this bar pulled all the way back. That way you take all the tension out of it. And then you just run the inside of your chain blade right into that groove. And once you get it on there, kind of roll it, pull it, and get the motor to turn. That way you're definitely on the sprocket. So anyhow, we're going to go ahead and pause this for a minute if I can. Well, I can't because I'm live. So that's going to be a problem. I can't do that with one hand. Maybe I can. Bear with me 1 second. Alrighty, I'm putting my gloves back on because this is hot. I'm going to go ahead and put the chain back on the sprocket. Okay, so I've got the chain back on the sprocket. Now I'm gonna line up the inside right here. I'm gonna line that up in the groove. So hold on a second. My gosh. Bear with me. Using gloves doesn't work out real well. Okay, here we go. We're gonna reverse. I'm gonna reverse the camera. My finger isn't working because it must have oil on it or something. Okay, so anyhow, you're gonna see I've got it back in the groove here, all the way down to the end. Like I said, you roll it and then get your blade lined up with that groove and pull it, and then you'll see that the bottom had went in. So you're good there. Make sure your top is still in. Okay, so we're a little bit out of alignment right now. Hold on. Okay, so got the top back in. What the hell's going on here? Okay, the top is back in. Now we are going to put the cover back on and apply tension. This is going to turn out to be a crappy video because I don't have a tripod with me, because I did not think this was going to happen today. So you're going to put the cover back on, and then that tension, like a little peg on the inside, you got to make sure the tensioner on the inside goes into the hole that's on the bar. Otherwise, you're not going to get that cover back on. So now we're going to go ahead and put the nuts back on, but we're not going to tighten them just yet because we still have to give the chain some tension. You don't want it too tight. You'll wear your bar out, and you'll waste more fuel because there'll be more resistance. And on the Husky, on this one, it did not come with that tool. So this side right here, it's going to be what we're going to use the tensioner on. The big side of this socket is for your spark plug. The other side is for the nuts that go right there. You want to clean your threads out a little bit, because you know how it is with a chainsaw. There's freaking dust and sawdust and goes everywhere. Dirt goes everywhere sometimes if you have a windy day. Alright, so we're just going to tighten those just a little bit. Put it toward the edge so I can swing that little wrench. And again, man, make sure you get that tensioner on the inside. There's a little peg in there. Make sure you get that in your bar, because like I said, if you don't get it in there, on some of these covers, it's really hard to tell that you actually got it in. until you go ahead and try to run it. Okay, so I just spun my chain to make sure that everything on the top is all in the groove. So notice the gap right here. You don't want that. That'll make your chain fall off. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna go ahead and add some tension. And as I add tension, you're gonna see the tension come out of the chain. You're gonna see that gap start to close up. So once you think you got it where you need to get it, just go ahead and pull on your chain. Wish I had somebody to hold this for me. Make sure your brake's off. But you'll want to spin your chain. Make sure it's not too tight. And give it a little pull. I feel it's a little bit too tight, so I'm going to back it off a little bit. Give it a counterclockwise turn. Okay, so now it's spinning freely. Back of this tailgate's like not the best workbench in the world, but it's what you got to use when you're out in the field. So you can see that the chain's still hanging just below the bar. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little more tension on that. There's something going on with that right there. That went in there tight. So we're going to tighten that a little bit more. You're going to see the gap close up. Should be somewhere around right in there should do. So that's it, man. And don't forget to tighten these nuts. Tighten them up pretty good, but don't like break them off with a torque wrench or anything. Just use this little tool and just get it pretty snug, and then the bar won't move and the chain won't loosen up. You won't have any more problems. Well, that is it. Sunny Days is out.